Okay, this is part 2 of Granda-Zuniga against Gurevich. White played rook to b1, standard move, trying to accomplish blockade of the queen side. And after having been moved these pawns, Black would maybe try to maximize his pressure, maybe even exchange of the bishops, maybe depends on the position. And if this bishop is out of the way, to attack the pawns with the rooks, then white tries knight to b5, and after that white would have a blockade here with pawns and the knight on b5, and black would really suffer, and he tries to avoid these positions. So we have this knight on g4, which wants to exchange with the f3 knight, and it should move to e5 now. Black tries something else. He tries the same idea with another move, and this is this one, and I don't like it at all, because this knight, where it stood, could actually try to exchange this way, maybe with the c3 knight. Sorry, a lot of arrows here, and this knight on d7 should really stay where it is. Gurevich plays another route here, and Granda-Zuniga, being a strong grandmaster, understanding the ideas of this opening well, retreats with his knight, not to give black any chance of relieving his cramp he might argue as white. Well, now you see the knights here somewhat tipping on each other's toes and lacking retreat squares, and in this position black could try something like knight to c4. I mean, it's already really bad after kicking and winning tempos on the knight. h3, kicking again, and now f4 starts to look really bad for black. Knight to e7, bishop b2, contributing to a kingside attack after opening the center. Maybe black could try to maximize his pressure here on the queen's flank after renewing the pressure on e5. Maybe black could try bishop to b7, and after king h2, taking this knight, maybe this is worth a try in this cramped position. And if queen takes, blockading the e5 point, and if the rook kinda has to guard a2, c4 now could give black a chance of counterplay, and white mustn't take this pawn, or else black is in the game, as you can tell here. Takes, and now getting even a pawn, and in this position, yeah, maybe something like knight to d2, and rook c8, queen d4, and this is this is a really bad position for black to be in. I mean, if takes here, takes, maybe rook to c2. Maybe this looks good on the surface, but look how these knights don't actually have any squares at all to play with. And if black tries to make use of c4, sorry, it's white's turn. You know, if black tries this, b4 now, and you know, black has to go back. So on the long term, black is losing this. His pieces have no play whatsoever. Okay. Going back. This could happen after knight to c4, which would be the best try for black. But Gurevich played here the desperate f5, and this is really overambitious. I mean, black could easily have problems with his pawn here after opening up the semi-open file, and this pawn contributes to having nailed down this e-pawn of black's. But first of all, Granda-Zuniga kicks out the G knight and the E knight. And now you see, after E5, the thematic push in the center, black is really struggling here. Queen B8 trying to somehow keep the center at bay, but you see this is a really bad position to have. Weakened squares, and I mean, look at this pin. Black tried check with taking on f3 and exchanging pieces, you know, to keep that attack burning out. And you know, black is weakening his king side more and more. But somehow there could be a chance now to hold this, but this is really, with correct play, impossible to do. The queen is attacked, and it tries to exchange on d4, so the attack could burn out here. And now you see this knight has no active squares. So it moves back onto d6 maybe, but now g4. Problem really in this position is black gambited a pawn on the queen side, and he didn't win one pawn back. And he has problems in the center, and there could be easily passed pawn running down to queen, and this is what makes black's position so difficult here. Now, going back to this position, having the knight on d6 and the bishop protecting c4. Maybe c4 would have been a good try here. But Gurevich played bishop to b7, and now the trumps of the white position start to show themselves. Now white can even exchange pieces, because with these extra pawns and these isolated pawns, there's really nothing to do for white. Attacking the pawn on b3 and trying to hold this, but as you can tell, these pieces are way more active. Okay, black seems to have a little better bishop, but after pushing these pawns, I think this problem is solved for white as well. So exchanging seems to be the plan here for white, and he even gets to take on a4 now, but this wouldn't even help him. I mean, it's really desperate here after rook to c7, king f8, king f5, maybe allowing no checks, but then king to g6. And if you try to check here, king to g6 and rook to f6, king h1, and mate is threatened. So in this position, rook to f1 is played, and d6 now. Check, takes, check, and now you see there's just too many to do for black, which you cannot solve really. Now the pawn threatens the queen. Maybe rook to e6 is threatened here. Well, I think this is just an illusionary threat, and in this position black resigned. I mean, what to do? Maybe rook to e3, because I actually don't have a move. Then check, king moves, and I think even queening is possible. Takes, and now queening the other pawn. What black really would love to do in the opening could be something like this. This is somewhat an ideal try for black. c4, an important move, getting his pieces involved, and yeah, this is what Benko players should try to achieve. Okay, thanks very much. I hope you got something out of the Benko Gambit game. I would really appreciate it if you comment and like the videos, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for your time.